like the bass to go.
When I get dressed, I get dressed. When I get tested, I bring that lead. Don't want heat seekers in your chest. Maybe you should speak less. Say my name, I bring that pain. You ain't what you claim, so walk away. I'd rather party anyway. I like that time. Okay. Peace, my people. What's up? It's your girl Lish 2 times, and I am sitting here with Arnstar.
Yeah. What's goody?
Welcome, Arnstar.
Thank you.
We got you in a mother chicken building, okay?
Hello,
you here.
Yeah.
Multifaceted dancer, actor, rapper, health enthusiast,
Fact.
Advocate.
Fact.
Like, there's so many different layers to uncover.
Fact. Lover of life. Really here living, present in the moment.
I appreciate that.
You already.
Yeah. So did I miss any slashes?
Always do, because it's always one being created or being discovered. But those are the main ones that we cover so far.
Okay. So yeah. I didn't know about the acting until I saw your EPK.
Fact. That's why I sent it.
Okay.
That's why I sent it, yeah.
Tell me more.
I mean, people kept pushing me towards utilizing my charismatic personality. Like, I was so steadfast and head over heels for like music. Yo, I want to perform. So at the end of the day, I'm performing at like a humble spot on the east side, and this drunk white kid walks up to me and he's like, yo, bro, you got to call this number. There's somebody that can get you booked. And I'm like, booked for more shows? Oh, it's lit. So I put my people on it. They talked to the people, come to find out it was a booking agency for commercials and movies and films. So I took a meeting with them. And next thing you know, I did a McDonald's commercial for 2017 Super Bowl. Ended up portraying MC Shan in Roxanne Shante movie. And I did an independent film called Wheels that's on Amazon Prime right now.
Okay.
You know, a lot of fun stuff came. Wildin' Out, Nick Cannon. It was dope.
Mm-hmm. He said pretty much I started becoming that kid, okay? Not just the life feed. See, I know him because he does a lot of life feed and things like that. You know, the uptown dancers like to link up. Go crazy,
yep.
On the spot choreo.
You know what I mean? And a lot of freestyle, you know, choreography is something that's now becoming a part of the culture because of just the expansion. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But Life Feed is really the culture of saving your own life through your expression. It just so happened to be dance. And then, of course, it was the music. Of course, it was no music. You know what I mean?
No music. No music. What? So
expressive in the streets. People know the dancing, but then there's super production behind it. A lot of Light Feet started with a lot of real artists. You know, shout out Nino Man, Young B.
Shout out Nino Man.
You know, Spades, AB3, and now myself.
Okay.
So been pioneering it for 16 years since I was a kid.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean?
You're still a kid.
Of course, I mean, you know, we a kid at heart, but you know, we got grown bills to pay.
I know.
You know what I mean? You know, catching flights. You know what I mean?
Grown responsibilities.
You know, touching the motherland. You know, like we got to do things. We got to grow, and that's the expansion. It's movies, commercials. You know, doing licensing deals with music. So it's actually starting to branch out now. It's basically Hip Hop Junior.
It's Hip Hop Junior.
Peace, love, unity, safely having fun, light feet. We the ones. We came to get it done.
Yo, spit your favorite verse for me right now. Yo, let me tell you something.
Verse.
Let me tell you something. I might need. This is one of the guys, and I know I only made certain people rap like one bar, like one little few bars, but he is actually someone who could spit. I saw him perform. Was that the Catch These Compliments events or?
Oh yeah. Well,
did you? No, I don't think you performed there. That's where I met you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it Apollo?
No.
Okay.
That was recent. Yeah. I saw you perform somewhere a while ago, and I was like, yo, I didn't know he could spit like this. Like I knew, like, you know, everybody can rap these days a little bit, but you were like, I pay attention when they hold their mic up and deliver their bars.
Right.
You know, because that's what
I'm currently working on. So I pay attention and I look at some of the people that we call the greats.
Right.
And they not just trying to dance you to sleep. They're really doing this. And if they can add dancing to it, they're doing it. But they're vocalizing their craft, their bars, their lyrics. And I thought that was a strong point that you had.
Copy. So, yeah. So, I Quiet Storm freestyle, you know, it went viral on TikTok. Shout out Havoc. He reached back. So
I don't have you on TikTok.
Yeah, you know, I gotta get you on TikTok. It's moving on YouTube right now too. It's going around. I said, it's a fact. I'm the one that they overlooking, but they can't deny the smell in the kitchen. I'm still cooking, building up a new golden era of hip hop. Road to success is never a pit stop. Yo, wrist watches, I'm not interested. They got a rollie on and still don't know what time it is. I'm like Optimus, ready to transform, about to make it harder to see than looking in sandstorms. It's a mission that we all on. I feel like the last soldier in the field and we all gone. It's a few real rhymers that's left, but the rest, shots fired around the blind and the deaf. Man, they can't see the ambush, can't hear the prophecy, understand the difference of what is and what got to be. Going through the trials and processing them properly. That's why I thank God Allah done got to me. I'ma spit it so you get it for it's obsolete. Capping it crucified cause he copped a knee. Facial recognition on the phone watching me and Siri listening to every last word I could speak. Social media keep asking for permission. Terms and agreements really don't give them. What's the cost of living? Taking more than they give and advertising to the brain. It's mental conditioning. It's man versus machine. Terminator 2. They made movies like The Matrix to awaken you. Everybody got a choice. Red or blue, whatever you do, just make sure it don't only better you. Ooh. Love you first, get yourself out of hole. Teach people how to do the same thing with their soul. Deep into the pit of my chest, I found gold and blood diamonds from Africa that can never be sold. Whoa, they sell it to us, but we the ones that they stole it from. Got us staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. The future that they paint for us, hopeless one. I came to set my people free. I'm the chosen one. Star.
Yeah. Arnstar is in the mother chicken building. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I like me some good woke bars, some meaning to it. Terminator 2, Matrix, all of that. Like, and the thing about it is, I gotta watch Terminator again because, you know, Terminator is such an old movie. Yeah. And I remember that's how Arnold Schwarzenegger became popular. That was But I don't really remember the big storyline. All I remember is him coming back. And he's supposed to, and I remember Sarah Connor's name. So I gotta watch it because it's like a smidge before my time, but it's like, no, it's not. You feel
me? It's really not though. That's right there in the 90s. I grew up watching that.
But what I mean, it's like I was a little girl watching it, so I wasn't gonna comprehend everything.
But here's the funny part. When you look at it again, it's going to come back so fast. It's going to snatch you back into like, oh, snap. I've been had this rendered in my audio video, but now I have the meaning and the clarity behind it. It's going to hit you so hard. And shout out Sophia Stewart, because Sophia Stewart is the black woman that they stole Terminator 2 and The Matrix 1 from. Because if you look at the storylines, Terminator 2 is the prequel to The Matrix 1. And she wrote both of these things and she copywritten it and she sued them and everything. And I'm not sure if she won or didn't win, but she definitely made her case that, yo, this is mine. I copywritten this. I'm a black woman that made this. I knew this was going to get stolen. This is why I copywritten it. So boom, it's very deep. John Connor, JC, is Jesus Christ. It's the story of Christ coming to wake people up from out of their machine state. You know, right now, as you can see, we're almost cyborgs, you know what I mean, without cellular devices, you know, for your cells, you know, to keep you on lock so you won't get to that higher vibrant frequency, you know what I mean? So it's a lot behind that. And, you know, of course, Neo being a one, John Connor actually grows up to become Neo. So, you know what I mean? Neo, Neone, he's the one. So I like that. That's all us. Like basically it was written to let us know that we are all Christ. And we have that power.
Interesting. So since we're on that topic, you're like coming out swinging. First 2 minutes, brother gave us bars, a history lesson, dissected movies. Okay.
I mean, I'm in entertainment. I do films, I do music, I do dance. This is not to get lit. I already know I'm lit.
This is who you are.
Exactly. I know I'm lit. I don't need 1 million followers to know that. I need to understand that from where I stand under from. Like, and I stand under an open heaven. That's God. God providing that. So, you know, like they say, God did. If God didn't do, I wouldn't even be here to have nothing to speak about.
That's so true. So I know that we spoke briefly at the Juneteenth parade about this very topic. Actually, we got into the topic at the Juneteenth parade. You know, like it's an official federal holiday for those of you who do not know that celebrate the emancipation of the, you know, Black folks from slavery. That is our Independence Day. Not really an Independence Day because we are still underneath their rule. However, we are no longer in shackles. So you spoke about considering yourself Muslim by definition, but we never went into that conversation because I know that you're not interested in the actual like logistics of what people say a Muslim has to do to be considered a Muslim, but you said by definition. And I'm gonna let you, what is the definition of a Muslim?
The one that was explained to me that I understand is one who submits themselves to the will of Allah, the will of God. You feel me? I know a lot of religious rhetoric throws people into left and rights about it. Like some people think Allah is a different God from God that's in the Bible.
Because of the linguistics.
Because of linguistics. But when you really break down Allah, it just means God in Arabic. Like, and the funny thing about it is, you know, the English language or lack thereof is like we've taken from so many other places that God name wouldn't be God even if it was God, because the English name terminology wouldn't be correct off rip.
Bastard tongue. You
know what I mean? So with that being said, I recognize using it as just a translation. So God's name to me is Allah. I learned that from my personal conviction. And mind you, I grew up in a Pentecostal prophetic ministry.
Wow.
Yeah. So
those are the ones that do the like catching the Holy Ghost, hooting and hollering a little bit.
It's a little bit of everything in different sectors, but like I can't break down.
Wait, there's sects of Pentecostal?
No, Pentecost is a sect of Christianity.
Right.
So there's Baptist and you know what I mean, Lutheran and
yeah.
I don't know the specific differences. And that's probably something I need to learn.
I know the differences of the different sects of Christianity. What I was asking was, is Pentecostal known for that? Because I remember that, I think it was the Pentecostals, because I understand like Seventh-day Adventists, those are the ones that only wear skirts and don't get piercings. I'm pretty savvy, but yeah, you grew up in a church where you got a little bit of hooting and hollering.
Yeah, but my Holy church Ghost was a little bit more, yes, it was Holy Ghost catching, but it wasn't really based on just stomping and falling on the floor and catching the Holy Ghost or feeling the Holy Spirit. Definitely Holy Spirit was activated because it was a prophetic ministry. So we're tapping into the word of God. You got certain aspects of prophecy, people seeing what you've been through, people seeing the possibility of what you can go through, speaking the word of God, like letting you know what's around the corner for you, should you continue on this path, things like that. People locating you exactly where you are or feeling how you feel through word of knowledge, or it's outright people calling out license plate numbers, bank account numbers, with discretion, not really exposing it, but just letting them know like your account, it starts with, and they whisper in the person and they're like, yeah, nah, I do. And it's like, yeah, this is what's going on, right? And they like, yeah. And they like, okay, so God is telling me if you do this, this is what's going to happen next. And I'm like, oh, I grew up watching that since I was like 4 years old. And then I ended up becoming an ordained prophet myself because I was very devoted to God. Like my mother didn't tell me I was a Christian. She didn't tell me I was a Muslim. She just told me God is first, period. And so me growing up in prophecy, I've always been used to hearing what God has, the possibilities of what God has for you should you continue on a path. So for me, dreams are very prophetic. Visions are very prophetic. Even hearing the right thing you're supposed to hear walking down the street is prophetic. Somebody say something and you thinking about something and they say something that's a direct answer, but they're talking to somebody else. I'm like, whoa.
Timing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Right.
There's no such thing.
Or rather, there is a such thing as a coincidence. And if you catch the coincidence, you'll catch the co-collaboration between you and God.
Yes.
You're always in coincidence with God.
His time, the ink is dried. It is already written for you. If you just, yes. I think that. I agree with that. Being in tune.
Right. Right. So boom. With that being said, how could I not be one who submit myself to the will of Allah? How could I not, understand that God shows up in so many different ways because so many different people live so many different ways. Like if you live by
culture,
the water, exactly. We're talking about culture versus region, right? If you live by the water, you're probably not going to do the same thing that the people who live in a mountain do. There's going to be certain aspects that stay the same. You're going to eat food, breathe air, but there's ways of life that's going to change according to your geographical location.
Right.
And if you try to, no matter how long I've been living by the water, okay, cool. If you're in a mountain and you're still trying to live by the water, you're going to have a hard time. So God shows up in a way that is able to speak to you through the mountains or through the ocean. You know what I mean? Or in the jungle or wherever you are.
Where that voice came from? I've been living through the water. That voice you just said.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm a character too. Like I do early childhood education things. Like you know what I mean? Like my, I haven't gotten to voiceovers just yet, but that's something I'm looking forward to. But I got a couple characters in there. They just come out just to, Somebody might be listening to this. They can't really look at the video just yet, and they get the
What would you say the biggest highlight of your career so far has been?
Being able to tell my story and to see those who've been watching me from whatever point that they watch me from, see the elevation and growth never stop. So I could say, oh yeah, it was the McDonald's commercial in 2017. Oh no, it was me at Nick Cannon. Doing Wild 'N Out. Oh no, it was me on Netflix at Roxanne. Or I was performing on stage at the Barclays. None of these things are gonna matter more than the timeline of those who've been watching me. It's really the people who come to me and go, yo, I really watched you from 16, 17, 18. Yo, I remember when you was right here. I didn't know what was gonna happen. And then boom, this next big thing took place that made me realize who you are or what you're doing is going to make an impact. I'm like, yo, thank you for that. It's the people being inspired. That's the biggest thing for me.
Mm-hmm. So being able to inspire people is super important, but I feel like we have to have a place. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I shot a pretty big production yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. A music video, whatever. And I was on the phone with my engineer, and he was like, yo, Lish, you know that from here on, that's got to be the standard, right? So I just want you to understand that. And I'm like, okay, that is correct. He goes, the more you elevate, the more your fan base is growing, the more brand awareness. You know what I mean? There's a certain standard, right?
Right.
At some point, you're going to get to a point where it's like, I remember I was talking to my boy Murray, like from Impractical Jokers, when I was at FIT. I was like, do you want to come and I have some money from the SGA? Do you guys want to come to the college? He goes, man, we haven't done colleges in so long, tours. So the answer is empathetically no. We sell out stadiums. Why would I come to a college unless it's on some charity?
Right.
Because I'm doing a favor. Say that I'm doing a favor, but don't think that it's like a booking because I've outgrown that, right? So I only say that because do we really, and as music artists, we don't really outgrow too much because no matter what room we're in, there's a room for us to always touch someone new.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there is a certain point where you feel like, man, I've done this, which was probably one of the biggest things I've done. Let's say the McDonald's commercial. I don't know what you were doing in the commercial, but if you were rapping or dancing and actually got clear solo shots, and it was during the Super Bowl where the entire nation just about is watching, then it's kind of like, you know what? this is the dopest thing I've ever done, and I need to do more of this. So that, and then I need to do bigger things so that way I can feel like I'm going.
But yeah, that's my thing though. Like, trajectory is based upon what is that person's like personal journey. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like, yo, I have to do this before I feel like I've accomplished and achieved, it's like, what is that feeling? And how do I access that feeling before the next thing comes in? How do I balance out understanding that this is going to happen for me over and over again? You know, because when I make this thing, this like, yo, I did the McDonald's commercial 2017 Super Bowl. It was right before the kickoff. It was everywhere. Everybody was calling my phone. I had 2,000 text messages that night, and it was on my birthday. It was February 5th, 2017. To me, it don't get no bigger than that unless like you just are a personality that's now accepted wherever you show up at. Like, if you do music, they're like, fire. You do movies, fire. Like, I gotta be Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, Michael Jackson. And if I know that's who I am right now, then there's no need to prove it to nobody. It's just up to me to continue to stay in that energy and to attract those next waves. Like, all right, let me put my work in. So for me, it's the journey of like, all right, I'm doing a Marvel movie next, and I got to become a superhero. What is going to take me to the next level of becoming that character? Do I got to transform my body? Do I have to think a certain way? Do I have to get into a certain character? That's my energy. Like, my energy is like, what's the journey? Like, not the point where it hits. Because when it hits, that's for everybody else. Like I said earlier, that's for the people who, yo, like, oh my God, I just saw you do it. Dope. I'm like, fire. That been me though. Yeah, I didn't know you rap like that. That been me. I've been writing before I was dancing. Like, yeah. So it's weird. It's kind of weird to explain that, because even now, this is the first interview I'm having, I kid you not, where it's becoming super clear to me. It could be this watermelon fast that I'm on, but
it could be that you sitting here with Lish 2 times. Don't ever try to discredit me. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, you definitely watch this. You definitely can't get discredited. This is your platform.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't mean my platform. I don't like forget the platform, because I feel like we talk like this off camera. You know what I mean? So different people bring out different conversation in you. Fact. Different energies. They stimulate different thoughts. So all I was saying is that you being in my humble abode is bringing about even more thought and more clarity, because I'm going to pick your brain, because I think you're so dope and so talented. You feel me? And I'm somebody who's newer to watching you. I'm not somebody who saw you, I guess, like as a kid or a teenager. Right. And to now. So I can only go by what I've known of you. I think the last 3 years on like.
Woo, you missing a lot. Woo.
How long ago did we meet?
Woo. I think Catch These Compliments was like pandemic. So that's like 4 years ago.
So like 4 years ago.
Yeah, like if that's 2020, then
But yeah. I feel like for us to have been inside, I feel like because New York was like the last place to let people start doing a lot of inside stuff again.
Fact. You got a lot of homework to do. Yeah. But I do appreciate the fact that from what you've seen, the energy is pretty consistent though. But when you go back, you're going to be like, all right. See, whoa, okay, cool.
What do you mean?
It's just so much. There's so much to earn. Like 4 years is not going to do it.
No, I absolutely know that. That's why I say. But this is the reason why I was so mad at. I'm gonna give you guys a little background. Like, so the way I do interviews is before people even get to my seat, I don't watch most of your interviews. I don't listen to probably all of your music, or if you have a lot of music out, I probably just listen to like the last 2 projects you put out, because I want to be able to pull bars. I want to be able to pull this, that, and the third. But because I had so much going on and you never confirmed, I didn't prioritize the way I would have.
Got it.
So I was thinking, already preparing to holla at you when I got back to New York. So I am not as prepared because you did not inform me. He texted me while I was already here.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, honestly speaking, because you hit me up when, like, yesterday?
Day before, I thought.
Day before. That wouldn't have been enough time.
No, it is enough time for me because I don't work a day job, respectfully.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But still,
so, like, it would have been enough time. I have a TV. While I cook, while I do whatever, I listen. Believe you me, I cover a lot of information.
Got it.
Which is why I came into this media space.
Nah, that makes sense.
A year deep because of the fact that I am a lot more detail-oriented and better than a lot of people.
That's a fact.
And I would not let you come here. I wouldn't offer you to come here if I wasn't interested in you. I'd rather, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, this is not a money grab platform.
No, I felt the love when you reached out for sure. And we already been tapped in. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyhow, I put batteries in backs and inspire because I want to see everybody that's before me to like win. I want to see you guys do better. I want to feel like if you came to be added to the witness list, it's because I wanted to witness your greatness. I wanted to witness what's best in you. I'm not trying to have messy conversation with you. Yeah, I'm going to ask you about your personal life. I want to know how you came up. I want to know about your love life. I want to know more about the individual behind the music that you make because what stimulates those thoughts? Why do you want this to be your message instead of that?
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
So,
back to life.
Are you familiar with the legendary Rocksteady crew?
I am not.
Copy. So then now you got to, this is why I say even 2 days wouldn't do it. Because legendary Rocksteady crew has a history that's going to send you on a journey. And after you finish doing that, I'm going to introduce you to who gave seed for me. His name is Kippy D. Rest in peace. One of the more key members of Rocksteady.
Okay.
Right? So my dad is one of the first hip hoppers ever. Period. When it comes to writing, rapping, breaking, creating culture, creating fashion statements, moving the culture before it even had his name, before hip hop had his name, my dad is in there. So that's what I'm being bred from. And starting from that mantle, it's like I already know, like now at this point, before I was searching, and I was searching because he was shot and killed before I was born. May 26, 1990, he transitioned, right? Gun violence. So, boom.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you know what? You and a brother from Chicago, Black Panther Party son, Fred Hampton's son, have that in common. But continue on.
Fact. So here we go. Great leaders start from tragedy. Hard times make strong people, make great leaders. Right? And then great leaders go on to make easier times, then easier times make weak men. And then we got to do it all over again. So, boom.
That is so true. That's why they say every 3 generations, you know, families with money, they have to struggle and fight like hell to preserve their wealth because of what you just said.
In fact, so my dad is like embedded into the essence of peace, love, unity, safely having fun, hip hop as is growing. So he's taken, physically taken away, but left so much culture that when I went to go look for him, like, yo, who is my dad? Like, what is this void that I need to fill in my life? I found hip hop. So I'm like, yo, this is what I was born for. Like, yo.
At what age was that?
It became, I had a like a clarity moment at like maybe, I believe I was about 15, 16. Actually, I was 14. I was like 14. I was in Martin Luther King High School. My art teacher played a documentary called Style Wars. You got to look at it. So I'm like, I remember my mom saying something about my dad being a part of, you know what I mean? So I'm looking and I see him come on the screen. And I'm like, yo, this is my pops. I'm like, yo, that's my dad. They like, nah, ain't your father. You know kids in school, ain't your father. Ain't your father. I'm like, yo, hold on, pause that real quick because I'm not even playing with him. So they pause it. They like, yo, that look just like you. And the whole class was like, oh. And when they did that, it was almost like a ohm, like a chant. And when I stood there, it was like it resonated in my
the
frequency.
Vibrations. You felt
when
that
they all
energy.
did that. That's a fact. I was like,
that was the passing of the torch moment.
I was born to. It was a waking up moment. It was a big waking. Yes, it was one of those big awakening. I was like, I was born for hip hop. Copy. So from that moment on, I stopped chasing my, hoop dreams, and I started really getting focused on music. I started getting in the studio a lot more. I started really, I was already doing poetry and started rapping because nobody else was doing poetry, so I just started rapping. But then it became more personal. It was like, oh, okay. So now everything my family was saying about my father is true. They wasn't just being nice. Like I kept
because they didn't know about. They never showed you that documentary before. That was your first time.
They didn't have it. Yeah, they didn't have that. They didn't have documentaries. They had all his graffiti writings in a room, and they had the pictures of him. You know what I mean, with the Kangol and the gazelles. Like I'm like, okay. I don't know what this really means, but now this means more to other people everywhere else. Oh, now I'm beginning to understand the impact of hip hop. Like, yo, this wasn't a fad. It wasn't a trend. It wasn't to be lit. It was to really live. Like, I'm like, yo, this is a way of life. It's a culture. So now I'm like, all right, I'm born for the culture. I'm born from the culture for the culture. So I live for the culture to this day. I just operate, You
and Nico Brim don't got on songs together?
Not yet. I love Nico Brim.
I love Nico Brim. Because you guys have a very similar, in that sense, like the Prince of...
That's a fact. That's a fact. Son of Legends. You know what I mean? So with that being said...
Because I didn't know.
Shout out Nico Brim.
Shout out.
Great artist. And, he upkeeps that. He holds his mantle strong. You know what I mean? Nico so Brim. Me and we definitely got some work to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's my dad. My mom, she was a devout, she was devoted to God. But she grew up through the hood, from the streets, East New York, Brooklyn. My pop's from Harlem. She's from East New York.
Your pop sound like he was from Harlem with the gazelles, the Kango.
Hello, fly God.
Uptown
energy,
with it. Uptown, baby. Mean? Uptown,
Hello.
baby. We gets down, baby. We wear the crown, baby. That was Uptown. I knew it.
You Go dig ahead. Me? So my mom hailed from East New York, Brooklyn. Incredible singer. Could have been up there with the likes of Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige. She was in that area, sing her ass off. You know what I mean? So, she never got her shot because of the shady side of the industry. You know what I mean? Took a meeting with some people at a record label that I won't name, and it turned into a do this sexual favor and then we'll sign the papers. And she was like, no thanks, I'm good. So she walked away, but had that talent to even get to that point. Boom. Fast forward, it's me and pushing this energy. I rap, I dance, I do everything that the culture requires you to do as far as expression, but it comes from the genuine understanding of why we started doing this.
So let me ask you a question. With you and Nico Brim both having the history that you all have, you guys both come from where you come from and who you come from, the loins of who you come from.
Yep.
And I feel like you all have somewhat similar messages.
Yep.
What do you think about the state of hip hop today and what the culture is doing? Not necessarily who's on top of the hip hop game,
right?
But what the culture as a whole is doing. What is your personal perception?
You know what? Shout out to the Sons of Legends, man. Shout out Young Dirty Bastard. Shout out Jay Wan.
Shout out Jay Wan.
Shout out Chris Rivers. SNS. I don't want to miss.
SNS, facts, my homie, Big Harlem. I'm telling you, Uptown.
You know what I mean? There's so many sons. There's so many sons of legends that are holding it down for the culture, respectfully. You know what I mean? And so when you say the state of the culture's in great hands when it comes to us. As far as how it's being projected out in the rap game, that's different. That's now we talking about, everything that everybody already knows. People selling their soul. People, making music just for traction. They don't really come in the cahoots of what the culture was created from. And now it's accepted to where as long as you're getting money, it's okay to talk about anything, or it's okay to talk about, killing each other, or just misogynistic points of views and stuff like that, and not to be too judgmental, or rather not to be judgmental at all. I'm just being observant. You can hear this on your own. All you gotta do is put on the radio. So it ain't me. With that being said, that's not culture. That's the expression that the culture has able to elevate and create from what we do. That's rap culture. That's you know what that is? That's oppressive culture disguising itself as black voices.
It's like another subculture that just blew up.
To me, it's like
just like drill is a subculture.
Yeah,
you know
even
what I mean?
drill. Even I have more respect for drill because drill is the kids in the city that's trying to figure out why life is so harsh, and they're doing it from their point of view. But now there's Christian drill. You know what I mean? I love Christian drill because Christian drill, it really shows you what is capable when you're out of the box of just trying to do what everybody else is doing.
Shout out to Raina Simone because she put out a drill album that was from the perspective of the victims of drill culture.
Oh, wow.
Her album, To All My Heart, like I'm even getting chills. It's only an EP, actually. But it's like from the perspectives of the family members who have to, deal with the hurt and pain of burying the ones they love because of it. The ones who have to do the bids with their children because they committed this heinous crime. The ones who got to go take those long trips upstate or wherever in the country to see their loved one behind a glass wall or behind bars or across a table and no touching allowed. And, I think that was the first time I've experienced creativity like that. And I think we're coming up on 2 years that she dropped To All My Heart. So maybe not. Maybe it's been it was a year and a half ago.
Dope. And that's hip hop.
And shout out to Raina Simone because she's also from Harlem.
Hello. That's hip hop. Because people feel like, if you're talking about real things, if you're talking about things that really matter, it's like, you're not going along with what the times are. The times are just, we just trying to have fun. We just trying to escape. It's like, that's cool, but where are you escaping to if you still live in the same conditions?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hoping back to go in the day, viral doing some heinous act.
Yeah, it's like a lottery mindset. It's lottery mindset. It's just, one of us will make it, and when I get out, I'll be different from everybody else. And it's like, no, you'll be the exception to the rule. You're not doing something that's going to leave everybody else in a better condition. You're doing something that's going to leave you in a better condition. This is why I don't respect a capping mindset. Somebody who's like, oh yeah, I'm lit because I got chains on, and it's like,
or fake rich, but then you get close to them. They always talk about they rich and how much money they made, but they can never say really how much money they have, because the reality is they're on borrowed dollars. They're existing,
Well, the truth is how much can you do without money? That's how rich you are. You are only as rich as how much you can do without money. How much do you move without picking up $1 in? Because anybody can be bought.
Using your relationships.
Right.
Because you have a good name.
Right. Your good name is better than silver and gold. That's what the good book tells us, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's hip hop. That's real culture. And I feel like the culture is coming back stronger than ever. People be like...
Facts. Rhapsody just dropped an album and Nico Brim is on it. I just broke it down.
Okay, that's how hype it is. That's how real it is. That's sacrifice. You know what I mean? You'll get it back. You'll get it back. The culture's winning.
Yes.
You don't even need it.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy right now. When you say what's up with the culture is really, first of all, the record labels are losing so much money. They're losing so much power. And the independent artist is getting stronger every second.
Yes.
And not only is it true, but we know it. And now that it's in our conscious, it's really a rap for everything else. So it's fun. It's back fun again.
And also, there's a lot of signed artists that still got to hustle like they're independent, because they got to prove to their artists that even though they were signed, that they even worth the marketing budget that they're supposed to be getting.
And to me, that sounds like, jump through these hoops. as a man, I'm not chasing no other man down to let him know how valuable I am. I'm going to be valuable as I am and attract everything that I need. That's how it's happened. Otherwise, I'm disrespecting the God in me. You know, I don't expect that behavior from somebody who understands who they are.
Yeah.
You know, build it and they will come. So, you know, a lot of the BS is being put aside right now. And that's one of the highlights of my career that I could actually say that I stood with for the longest. I've attested to is not trying to be that guy that's like, oh, I'm gonna do this just to be hot. I'm not. It don't feel good. When I was younger and I was more impressionable, it used to hurt me more because I considered it more. But as I got older, I'm like, it's less considered because I understand the power that's been coming through.
I agree with that. As a woman who covers and all that kind of stuff, the pressure of my peers, and even though they don't directly say that, I get what you're saying. It's just the environment. It makes you feel like you're invisible because you're not shining as bright as you could because you choose to be, you know, covered, or you choose not to speak a certain way. You choose to, you know, and it translates into music that you put out there. But I feel like the music that has the substance is going to be the music that is timeless.
That's a fact. And I don't believe it's necessarily true that you're not shining. I feel like you're making it clearer that your energy is not to be prostituted. And so it's less about like, everybody want to be a part of the show business. Everybody want to be the one that everybody's talking about, right? Everybody's, you know, if you're an artist, you want the song that's rotating. You know, you just want to be the center of attention. But
not really always the center of attention, because I actually had to become more comfortable with that. I actually don't care about the attention, I know a lot of artists who aren't about the attention. It's not about the attention for your person. It's about the attention for the work, the message that you're trying to portray and get across.
Right. That's from a true artist perspective. But at this point, we can safely say people just want attention now. Like, just from the songs that we're hearing, like when you got to say what color is your body parts, we're definitely just doing attention. Like I mean, this is not an educational thing here. This is something that clear, like we've known it. Like, come on now, any parent.
I mean, every generation had their poems that incorporated colors and parts. Roses are red, violets are blue. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if we gotta reset.
I'm just
kidding.
I'm being facetious.
This is what happens when we start. You know what? I identify as a microphone. Like, this is when you just start identifying as anything now. Like, we gotta come on. You have to be observant to your reality relative to what's going on. And if there's no relativity and then there's no observation, then the reality disappears. Everything turns back into a wave. And that's my thing. We're in a space now where everybody's just following a wave, but there's no observation. There's no clear observation of the reality. And so now we're getting back to a stable ground foundation. Fathers are showing back up for their children in black neighborhoods.
Yes.
After
wait. I don't like that we
years.
have to say that, because it's a really big taboo that black fathers are not there, honestly, because I have a few white friends, okay, in many instances, I'm sorry, black fathers are there more, just differently. Black fathers may not have had the means to do as much at a point in time, or maybe they're not in the household, maybe they're in jail, which is not good because then they're not there. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yes, no, black fathers are showing up. I've personally grown up through remember, like,
I was high school in Maryland, so my experiences is also different too.
Copy. So for me, growing up, I grew up in a single mother household. So for whatever reason, I feel like that became like, you know how you get in one car and you start to see the same car everywhere on the road? It's that kind of energy. I'm like, yo, why is everybody father, and then why is it gun violence? Or why is it some sort of violence or something violent?
The big homie's not even You know what I'm saying? Teaching
right.
anything like that anymore. They're
Right.
not really big homies no more. Now they old heads.
No, for sure.
They're not setting the tone.
Well, there's different.
Or they weren't,
yeah. And now I'm starting to see the young men step up, be there for their family, good, bad, or indifferent. Mm-hmm. Let me make that clear.
Right.
Like baby mama drama or not, they're still being the father, trying to be the father, or frustrated that while looking forward to being the father, there's so much challenges that's coming up. But I gotta say that they're there. So I feel like you being behind media changes the trajectory of life, changes the understanding of how we are beginning to see ourselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's artistry in a sense, Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's all relevant to the culture.
Let's take a pivot really quickly.
Yep.
Because you have a mindset that I don't find to be the most, abundant. How is it with your dating life, like with courtship? How are you approaching that? Like, are you single, married, dating?
I'd rather not say.
Okay, so
I'd rather not say.
But how do you how do you feel like the dating pool is for a man of knowledge, where nowadays women are pretty much being told, micro mini skirts,
yep.
have your butt cheeks out,
yep.
Dress promiscuous, turn
yep.
up, dance. If the music is playing, bend over.
All of that. Yep.
Yeah, no more are women told keep your back straight and your head up high. We're being told to bend over and show me what you're working with.
No, for sure. No, you are told to keep your back straight, keep your head high. That's why you heard it. You just don't listen if that's what you do. Or the pain and the trauma is so loud that voice is very minimal. But you heard it. You've heard both sides. You've heard cover up. You've heard be modest. But then you've also heard, I want to be free. I want to do whatever I want to do. And I don't need a man. And all I need is money. And I'll just call him when I need him. And then he could go. And then it's like.
That's what you think of the
This is a
pool right
mindset.
now?
No. Listen, this is a mindset.
Pool,
this is a mindset. This is not what I think of the dating pool. This is what was shared with me through your voice just now. But as I can see, you're covered up. You got your head wrap on. Most of the time I see you, you got you're very modest while still being fashionable. So you are a prime example.
Most of the time you've ever seen me out of pocket?
Yeah. Most, like I've only seen you so many times.
Have you ever seen me out of pocket? You said most of the time. I was like, have you ever seen me out of pocket?
Oh, no. Nah, I've never seen you out of pocket. So while I'm still trying to give you your accolades,
Thank
you dig me? We just gonna throw a big party for her. That's all. She needed.
You missed it.
No. We need another one. We need another one. We need one that you didn't throw. We need one that you need one where somebody throws it for you and you had nothing to do with it and everybody's just there clapping.
It doesn't happen.
And screaming.
It never happens. I plan it so it can be fabulous. Back to
I'm
what
gonna
you
tell you
saying.
and I'm gonna tell you why. No. Because you've been a standard that can be not only learned from, gleaned from, but one that needs to actually be seen more.
Thank you.
It needs to be seen more. And I can understand if you're frustrated that it's not, because you actually are what God is calling for. You are that. And the more you stand in it, the more the other little girls around you that's watching you that you have no idea is going to come out and say, you gave me the power. You gave me the energy. You were the one that was setting the tone. I saw the other girls that was doing what they was doing, and that was cool for the moment. But then when I turned around, you were the solid foundation that saved my life. And the women like you. I'm talking to you because it really is you in real life. But I know so much women like you. I know the women who cover up, the modest ones, the ones who don't. And they got it. They fire, pots, pans, all of that. But they just got, you know what I mean? They just have enough sense to know, if I show this all the time, a man can't even think straight. All he's thinking about is the lower energy, is the lower vibration. And guess what? That's a part of life. That's nature. Nature is going to take its course. But There is a courtship that needs to be taking place. There is a way of life. It shouldn't be cut straight to it. And we're humans. Things are going to happen. There's no judgment. One of the reasons why people love my point of view so much, or who I am, is because I'm not coming from a space of judgment. Like, I recognize judging only pushes somebody further into their darkness. So I don't want to come off like I'm judging somebody.
Right. I'm a firm believer in not condemning a dirty glass, merely presenting a clean one. And naturally, we all want to drink from the clean cup, right? Nobody wants to consume muddy waters.
Fact. And so with that being said, you know, the love that I have for people, the compassion I show for people, while still telling the truth, that's love. Truth without love is a lie. It don't matter how much factual you are. If you don't have love attached to it, that's a lie. Because how is somebody even supposed to feel, connect, even begin to bridge what once was supposedly off into what's supposed to be on?
That's powerful. I like that. I'm going to use that as your quote.
You know?
Truth without love is a lie.
Yes.
That's very powerful. You know, I just had a conversation with my cousin who is like about 30 pounds down. And
right.
I was telling her how good she was looking and stuff like that. And I started talking about like sloppiness. She was like, I used to look a little sloppy. I was like, she was like, why would you never say that to me? I said, why would I tell you, someone who dresses a little scantily, how does that make you feel good? The skinny girl telling you that you're overweight and that you need to put more on because you don't look great. You weren't in the mental space to receive it then, because you weren't in the mental space to want to fix it then. But the person you are now that's working on yourself, I can critique because you're now receptive to it. I'm not trying to hurt you, so why would I ever say that to you? And I know you're going to take offense to it. And then you're going to be mad at me. You're probably not going to want to talk to me anymore because you think that what's that book Monique has? Skinny bitches are evil?
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
So I love exactly what you said. I think it's powerful, and I think that, you know, I appreciate your mindset, and I appreciate you being here today.
You're ready.
And sharing that.
You're ready.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And I'm going to ask you a really important question that I ask everybody.
Yep.
I need to know what you got on, because, like, how does what you wearing, like, what is the Arnstar attire hitting for? What we doing?
I'm not even going to hold you. I just threw things on today. You know, I don't even know what
But you look nice.
Yeah,
what
nah,
what
concepts.
What's that?
Little concepts pants. You know what I mean? I really,
What does that
you know,
mean, concept pants?
that's the name of the brand.
Okay.
You feel me? I don't know what this shirt is.
I was looking at the emblem because there's like it reminds me of like I was gonna say like a aggressive Pac-Man, like he's just coming to.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. He had teeth and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely big energy though. Like,
okay.
You know, but
it could be a globe with the slice, like a slice of the pie cut out of it.
Okay.
I could see that as well.
Okay.
It's very artsy.
No, for sure. I love black designers. I love people who are building their own space. I hope so. But I'm saying this to be clear. Like, I love black designers. I love, like, my energy is to, instead of going to the Louis store and spending $7,000 on, like,
pieces,
a vest, I would love to give a black designer $7,000 and build my own wardrobe.
Then how the heck you and the Louis Don become good friends? Because the Louis Don, last time I spoke to him on the phone, he said to me, I'm on my way to the Louis store to spend 10 bands on a stupid Louis coat right now.
Oh, the new Vuitton Don. The new Vuitton. Louis Don, no, don't get me wrong. Ye, when we cool, like when me and Ye become cool.
No, you cool with 5 mics.
The new Vuitton.
The new
Vuitton Don.
Oh, is that what that is? Here's
that's
a song
what it is.
That's the Louis Don.
Yeah,
Don.
New Vuitton. It's New Vuitton Don. Yeah. Yes. And while we talking about it, we actually working on a mixtape, actually an album called 5-Star Mixtape. So 5 mics, Arnstar, 5-Star Mixtape. So
we like it. What's that? What was the hair motion?
Oh, this is me right here. This is my joint. This is the Arnstar. You know, you might know
I can't even do it with a broke nail.
For sure. You might know it as the Star of David, but this is the Star of Arn now. I'm adopting it just like it was adopted by certain cultures and certain backgrounds. It's not home to anybody specifically. it's a shape.
Do it again. Put it up to the camera. Arnstar.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. You will find this is one of the most ancient symbols ever. Mm-hmm. You'll find it everywhere. You'll find it in a honeycomb.
Yeah.
Just to make it clear before people start going, oh, that's what's Israel and whatever. Before they start going, no, they borrowed it actually as a sign of protection from God. But anyway, But yeah, so 5-star mixtape.
He's like about to go on a whole history.
Nah, for sure. No,
we could be here all day.
Nah, yeah, 5-star mixtape for sure. It's coming soon. I'm excited about it. We connected because we have a similar passion when it comes to hip hop and how it should be presented, audioly, visually. You know what I mean? Movement. Like everybody has the right to express themselves in a way that they feel works. But when it actually clicks, it's like, yo, why not team up and make something special? New York artists, they don't know how to work together. Remember that? Remember we all broken apart? No, that's not the case anymore. Like now we're collaborating. Now we're making stuff happen in the spirit of hip hop, New York, and that New York sound. People been craving that New York sound, that bop, that boom bap, that tempo,
boom bap, yes,
that BPM, them bars, the lyrics, the metaphors, the punchlines, the setups, the similes. That's what we be like, yo, I like how you flowing. I like what you talking about. Oh yeah, nah. Oh, let's do it. Yup, let's get into it. Bing, that was a dope record. You want to do another one? Boom. Oh, look like we got a project coming. You know what I mean? So
I can see that. So y'all moving together a little bit. So I'm glad to hear that. Shout out to 5 Mics or whatever.
Shout out 5 Mics. That's the big bro.
So when y'all about to drop, y'all gonna have to come back, I guess.
No, that's a fact for sure. For sure. I got an album
together.
Out. That's a fact. I got an album out called Light Layers.
Okay.
Extended Spectrum. 13 songs.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 songs available right now. DSPs, everything, anywhere you search it, Arnstar, Light Layers, Extended Spectrum, it's going to pop up. I'm excited for you to dive into it. High vibrational frequencies, concepts. You definitely going to understand where I'm coming from. And I think you might find a couple joints on there that you like, oh, nah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Deeper insight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let the people know where they can find you.
Yo, you could find me TikTok, Instagram at ARNSTAR. It's that simple.
Okay.
Oh, YouTube. Yes. No, I'm definitely building a YouTube. We got mad videos that we're dropping and we've already dropped. So YouTube search Arnstar 137. Yeah.
Okay. And you are watching Witness with Lish, and I am going to say this. You're only as good as your last outfit, so make sure it's a great one. Peace.